Hello, everybody. First of all, you might notice that I'm not wearing my traditional blonde Twintail wig as Cobalt told last races. This is Twintail outside of the Twintail look. I decided to record this via my face cam. Again, for getting any cosplay ranking for tonight, because we're going to start something brand new here. So you guys see over here on your right that I have booted up none other than Cardfight Area because one of our teammates and co-founders, Megane here, is finally curious enough to see what it's like to play Vanguard after having played Vanguard ZERO as his first actual exposure into the franchise of Cardfight Vanguard. So why don't I go ahead and bring it over to Megane and let him speak up about his experience with Vanguard ZERO, and what is he looking forward to possibly play in IRL Vanguard / Cardfight Area.
Hello, I am Megane. I'm playing Vanguard ZERO since the actual beginning of around when the Singapore server released in. Transition, played the preseason, and then now, up until now, competed in different tournaments. In a few days, I'll actually be competing in Bushi Summerfest Champs, which is going to be big for our team.
Mm-hmm.
And I overall really love Vanguard ZERO, and that was kind of the gateway into the realm of VG. From Vanguard ZERO to the anime until now with TCG, hearing that area is a pretty good opportunity, at least to go try out some of what's going to happen. I'm also looking forward to seeing like what would fit me the best, especially that I kind of also want to do potential streams with area. But again, we'll see. All matters time if I'll like this overall or not. But I'm overall optimistic, so we'll go see how this works.
For sure. And as he said, he's going to need some help to figure out what kind of clans he's going to play. And with that, I've always so decided to bring fellow teammate Darkness on board. Darkness, welcome to our video here. Thank you for joining us. Anything you want to speak about regarding your experience with Vanguard and what you're looking forward to telling Megane about here?
Thank you for having me join. Let's see. I wouldn't say I'm as experienced as Twintail here, due to Twintail been playing since the very beginning. I pretty much started around Limit Break with Gold Paladins because Garmor was apparently OP as the trial deck was, and I had fun playing it. And I started playing more when Legion happened, when a friend was able to give me a budget Revenger deck, which was Cormac, which no one really knows about because all they play is PBA. PBA, yeah, that's the right one. PBA or Raging Form Dragon. Yeah, so that's why Revenger does have a big place in my heart, and I still liked when it came back to Standard, even though it's not like name locked. Like, I don't have to play all Revenger deck. I just play like the generic stuff, such as like Nemain Swordbreaker package into the deck. There's no Blaster Dark Revenger, of course, but Blaster Dark became really powerful because of Mordred. So that means that, yeah, it was a really fun deck to play with 5 attacks. But now Bandori can do it too, and I think Dimensional Police, but I can't remember because I'm not really big into Stargates anyways.
For sure. And speaking of Standard, that's what we're actually going to go ahead and tell Megane about, because we're not going to try to overwhelm him with the mindfuck and cesspool that is the premium format. So
G-Arrow was the best. I'm just kidding. I did enjoy it though.
No offense to anyone who likes premium. I like premium too, but I'm not here to overwhelm Megane. So Megane, welcome to Standard Vanguard. You might notice that you already might have noticed a lot of changes in terms of how to build a deck, in terms of how triggers work, in terms of just the stat line of cards in the Standard format versus what you see in Vanguard ZERO. So with that, Megane, you go over to the deck editor section of Cardfight Area,
Yep, I'm there.
All right, you already see like on the top there, you see like the different clans that are represented in the game, including those that are those that are standard only, like Bang Dream, and those that are premium only, like Token Rambu.
It's awesome. They have Raise a Sun, my favorite band, represented in this.
In a secret pack.
Shout out to the card fight. Yeah, shout out to the card fight area. You're already 1 point.
You're
ahead.
1 point
Okay.
ahead because of Razor Swinging icon for Bang Dream. But anyway, let's move on ahead. So, you know, just taking a quick glance at Megane. What clans are you just simply not familiar with? Period.
Looking at this list, so first off, there's Genesis, which though it is, we saw the stream, it's going to be released. I don't know what I'm gonna expect because it will be releasing in VGO.
Right.
Other clans, looking at that, I mean, we kind of already got through United Sanctuary. The only thing really is Nubatama. Maybe a little bit of Touchy Kaze because I looked through the event. I have some of the cards, but I don't have as much experience.
Okay.
Murakumo as well. Then looking at the other sections, Gear Chronicle. I only know Gear Chronicle from the anime, which is strange throughout. But everything else I understand from the zone. What is the mask collection?
Don't worry, we're not going to talk about the mask collection. That's only in Thai format.
Okay, thank you. I was like, yeah, you mentioned that off stream. I just realized that. Then there's
Stranger, we also don't count. It's not in standard.
Okay.
All
right.
Is a bunch
They
of collab
should
cards.
really organize this, but
Stranger is still defined as Stargate.
I don't know much about Link Joker, even though we know that everybody.
It's like that they came from another planet or something.
I mean, Link Joker, I do know that a lot of people are a bit like pessimistic in terms of the future of VGO with how they're going to implement Link Joker, but I still don't know much about it. I do know the talks about it though. Let's take a look what else. Mega Colony, I'm still adjusting. I kind of know what Mega Colony does, but I kind of still a bit adjusting to it.
Okay.
And then really, I think that's pretty much it. I think I have a general understanding of the rest, but generally some stuff that either are in JP at the moment exclusively. Like I know what kind of Aquaforce does. Like I played through a lot of through Aquaforce, but there's also again some of these clans overall could be definitely different. Like what I'm curious about is like how is Spikes do? Because again, Spikes is my favorite clan in Zero.
Of course.
So I'm kind of wondering the huge big difference. But again, we'll learn that
as we go along, right?
In due time.
All right, sure thing. So let's start off with your first clan in the United Sanctuary, Genesis. Darkness, you want to tell them about how Genesis works?
Yeah, with Genesis, it's a clan from the United Sanctuary that does a lot of soul charging, and depending on which, they can possibly call out stuff from the soul or the stuff that were soul blasted and do some toolboxing with the soul. So it is similar to such as like Pale Moon in a way, but it doesn't do the multi-attacking that Pale Moon does.
Right, and I'll add on to that. So Genesis is in a way a Swiss Army knife clan where, as Darkness was mentioning, you're soul charging a ton, and you're using this soul to facilitate all sorts of abilities. There's stuff like there was stuff like the divinity counters that get introduced with that one. Was it Himiko or Artemis?
Yeah, with Himiko, gauges.
Was it Artemis or Himiko? I forget now.
No, I think it was Artemis with the gauges.
Yeah. So they would do things like they were kind of be like Oracle Think Tank for a while. Again, they introduced this new thing called Astro Poet, where they get to have like this Grade 5 thing pop up behind the Vanguard that also gets the drive check, which is pretty neat. So there's that. So basically, in short, Genesis soul charge to do awesome things. Moving on to Dragon Empire, you say you're not too aware about Nubatama. Nubatama is a clan that tries to whittle down the opponent's hand size with various abilities.
Listen, interesting how that could be implemented with Zero, but again, that could be another discussion. That could be a discussion for another time with like theory crafting.
So that's
Zero.
Nubatama. It's pretty much like the assassin type clan. I wanted to mention a little quick off note with Narukami here. You already know how Narukami works in Vanguard Zero
Uh,
by preventing intercepts by
yes, excluding ultimate break because
the
I don't
ultimate
think I'm
break's
running into
kind
much.
It's kind of the same thing.
Okay, because I'm not
No.
running because the only thing I'm really running into ultimate break is Aquas and maybe
Right.
Platina, but
That's all you
other
need.
than that, I don't know specifically about Narukami
Alright.
like Dunkery Unlimited or
Yeah.
Dragon Cards of Vermilion the Blood.
Alright, for sure. So you notice how Narukami kind of like copies Kagura by using the word retire, right?
Yes.
So in Vanguard Standard, they changed Narukami to be a bit more unique than Kagura in multiple ways. But the main way, in terms of its gimmick, is instead of retiring, it says bind. So it does so any card that says it cannot be retired, unaffected by or does not affect Narukami one bit.
Okay.
Unless it says retire and bind, but again, most Darkness, correct me if I'm wrong, but most Narukami cards in Standard now say just bind, right?
Yeah, they're buying, but some of them just kills off front row, so it's still a bit of the same old gimmick. But yeah, most of them do bind.
Right. Okay, Toxicose is a little bit different as well, where, so typically you've learned that Toxicose is kind of a clan where it eats up its own units to get abilities or to enable
Yes,
abilities.
I've seen that in JP Ladder.
Yeah.
It makes a little bit some nice comboing, but
Yes.
again, it is kind of though weird because this is what, as you said, is the reverse Shadow Paladin.
Right, it's reverse Shadow Paladin because, so in Shadow Paladin you get your cards out of your deck or your hand or whatever, and then you do the thing. In Toxicose, what happens is this. You play the things down from your hand, you pop them to get your abilities off, and then they do things like go back to your hand or resurrect themselves on the board or some shit like that. or they bring out something else from like the drop zone or the deck or something, whatever it is. Now, on top of that, they introduced a gimmick called Equip Gauge, which is basically stacking markers underneath the rear guards. And certain things happen. It could be gain of power, or it could be things like when this is retired, pay a cost to grab things from its Equip Gauge into your hand. So it's like a secondary resource for the clan. Gear Chronicle, I'll let Darkness explain this one because he's a specialist at this clan more than I am.
Oh boy, with Gear Chronicle, you kind of seen what it can kind of do in the anime. If not, I can explain more.
No, they're kind of vague-ish. I mean, to be fair, the anime was a little bit vague. I mean, that's why.
Yeah, because they do stuff that kind of annoys the opponent, such as putting card from your opponent's field to the bottom of the deck, which is one of their gimmicks. They can bind their own stuff just so they can obtain effects, or in this case, now they kind of want to discard so they can stride. Actually, yeah, that's the biggest gimmick, is that they stride so they get like more drives or more power depending on what the strides do.
Right, so
but in Standard, it's...
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Alright, so I was going to follow up on Darkness here, saying that it's not called stride anymore. They discard cards that are equal to grade 3 or higher to ride a grade 4 from deck.
They used to have a thing called stride fodders, but now those things are more of grade 3 top 5 searchers, so it's almost like the Shizuku Cadet Forerunner is what they called it. Yeah, but right now we'll just use the term stride fodder. Stride fodder is where they act as a grade 3, so even though they're usually grade 1s or whatever grade they are, they'll be counted as a grade 3, so you just discard one card, so you don't have to, let's say, discard 3 grade 1s or a grade 2 and a grade 1, or even just 1 grade 3, whatever.
On top of that, on top of the cards that Darkness has mentioned, where these cards gain grades in your hand when you're discarding them for an ability, a lot of Gear Chronicle cards say when this is discarded, they can do things like bring themselves back on the board, or draw cards, or get power, or something like that. So they get benefit from getting into their grade 4 from deck by the discard costs. Alright, let's move on to Link Choker. So,
oh boy.
Link Choker has 2 main styles in Standard. It has one called Delete, which is flipping your Vanguard face down. Your Vanguard then loses pretty much every single piece of information and becomes power 0 until the end of your until the end of your next turn, and they get abilities based on if the opponent's Vanguard is deleted, like draw cards, gain power, extra attacks maybe, that sort of thing. And then there's the style called Messiah. I forgot about there's a third style. Messiah is they call things from the drop zone or from the deck as locked, and then at the end of their turn they unlock, so that they're kind of making board but delayed. It's kind of like Royal Paladin but delayed. And there was a little funny deck called Brant, where both the Brant Grade 3 and Grade 4 they change the effects of your opponent's triggers to do like the opposite, like almost like the opposite of what they were supposed to do. We won't go too deep in that one. Alright, and
I mean, I can see how also it could be a technical issue in Zero. I mean, I've had many discussions with these people.
I will not talk about
that's more of a theory crafting video still.
Yeah, I will not
we're here to talk about Area, we're not here to talk about Zero.
I will not talk about what Wind Joker does in the pre-standard era. Even Jargus will not want to talk about that.
Oh god, no.
Right, Mega Colony, you say you still don't quite get. It's pretty much kind of same old, where it is going to just try to prevent the opponent from getting, from just being able to attack again after they attacked. It's like, kind of like you've seen the word paralyze pop up a lot.
Yes, I mean, I've also seen it in game. I played against a few. I think earlier today I actually played against a few Mega Colony. Their deck is incomplete, but they've also stunned some of my key boosters.
So they could stun. They also have the ability to just profit off of that. They can draw cards, or they could, they could power up their guys based on like how many things are stunned on your end, that sort of thing. So just trying to do that to like slow you the F down. All right, and you already know about all of Megane, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Generally, what they do.
Except for I guess with Bermuda Triangle, there are a few things that are different. So you're used to Bermuda Triangle doing like this whole like bounce and attack and bounce and that sort of thing, right?
Yes.
In Bermuda Triangle now they're focused more on doing things like there's something called Melody. It's a keyword that grants all other cards with Melody the same effect. So basically, you have Melody, you share that effect with like the card on Rearguard and Vanguard Circle. So they just get you astronomical amounts of power. Then there's also they also made 4 Grade 4 units that benefit from you playing no more than 1 copy of all normal units in your deck. What we call Highlander. Not necessarily a competitive version, but it is a very fun version, and it does have it's like a high risk, high reward type of deck sometimes. Because you're choosing to play only 1 copy of like almost everything. Alright. And I think with that we kind of covered all the clans. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go and kind of talk about your favorite clan, Spike Brothers. Actually, I'm gonna let Darkness take care of this one because I think he knows this clan in standard more than I do.
With Spike Brothers, you have to learn what Force does, and especially with not the newest one for this year, but last year's set. Do you at least understand how imaginary gifts work?
Yeah, I actually watched a Different Fights video about specifically the going from Zero to TCG and talking about these specific forces, which, I mean, when I looked at Excel, I was like, what the heck? But again, that's different. That's for another time. But I do know what Force does.
Okay.
What's weird, I also have a promo card from Zero that has Imaginary Gift Force.
Yeah.
Which is Force 1, I think.
Correct, because the funny thing is, with Zero, they show a picture of Kai and Aichi, which both are Force users, because Kagero and Royal Paladin do use Force. But depending on which, if it's like upwards or sideways, is how it works, because upwards is what most people are using, or I guess the term is vertical. Yeah, vertically, it's the one where it's Force 1, where you get 10k power on any circle you want. So it could be Vanguard Circle or Front Row or if you want to be really oddball, you can put in the back rows for whatever reason. But with the sideway one, all it does is just give crit. So it can be kind of powerful depending on which deck, especially if it's a deck that has a lot of power already that you just want to be able to push forward to your opponent,
like
such as like Bermuda Triangle or even Neo Nectar right now, just because even if it is with tokens can do a lot of damage, so it gets really annoying.
Oh yeah, I should mention like that really quick. Neo Nectar no longer cares about like turning like Great Greasing a Great User or anything like that anymore. They care about generating a bunch of plant tokens.
Oh yeah, is this the change through G? I think.
No. G cared about having the same name.
Okay.
Neo Nectar and Standard cares about having a bunch of plant tokens.
Okay.
And with Asha, this new thing called Fairy Token.
Okay.
Anyway, going back to Spike Brothers. So I'll finish it off here really quick. So they're basically playing football in that they let you stack. They purposely stack their force markers on one circle, and they have abilities that say when this attacks, or at the end of this attack, pass these force markers to another circle.
So yeah, so it's like if it,
okay.
yeah. So it's funny thing is that if it doesn't hit, then you can switch it. So it's more like, oh, if you couldn't make it to the goal, you just pass it to your other teammates, and hopefully they'll hit the goal. And they miss, then you just keep passing it on.
So is this still a face hit? It's still a face hit clan, right?
Yeah, because they'll either take a lot of damage, or they'll have to be able to block a lot of damage.
Okay.
Now the downside of playing Spike Brothers versus playing what you're used to playing in Zero is there are no abilities like Dudley Dan or Dudley Emperor that let you call new things after opening up your circles.
Yeah, so they don't get to do crazy multi-attacks, unfortunately.
They just get to have big attacks.
Yeah, they just do really big attacks, and some cards like Bracky will go to the bottom of the deck if they so it still does the same thing as Bracky does. Like Bracky can get big power, but it'll have to go to the bottom of the deck.
But I think Bracky gives you a copy of him. Like don't Wonder Boy, Bracky, and Juggernaut Maximum give you a copy of themselves at the beginning of your main phase?
Yeah, at the beginning of your main phase, but you can't do it during battle, so you can't multi-attack.
Right. So So Wonder Boy, Bracky, and Juggernaut Maximum allow you to have
filter your deck.
They'll filter your deck by taking themselves out of the deck, but then putting themselves back to the bottom, I believe.
No. You can call it over, but some cards will go back to the bottom, then you just call another one.
Right. Alright, but yeah, that's basically the Vanguard clans. And also, I think Jorgen said that we missed anything about like what was very different between Standard and Zero in regards to clan gimmicks. But you look at the deck, you look at the clan list here, do you think there's anything that we're missing that we forgot to tell Megane about?
There's a lot of clan, but it looks like from what Megane is saying, we should talk more about it another time and just play a quick game.
Yeah. Sure. I think if we want to just end it off, I kind of like, we'll probably talk about the playstyle I like. And then I guess you can give some example decks that I could go look out for next time.
Right,
I think next time we'll probably just do a trial game. We'll kind of try out some TVs and then work our way up. I think potentially I want to do like, just test out like every clan at least to see if I'll like it through. It's kind of like what I'm doing in Zero. Right. It's so,
why don't you tell me what you're looking for?
I like the tempo game. I love staying ahead. I especially also love it when I can just get off multiple attacks. My favorite thing especially is attack extending. I really love attack extending because it's like hit, and that's like a lot of damage throughout. That's generally my own play style. That's why I like Spice, because there's a lot of good opportunities to not just hit with the regular 3 columns, but go like hit front rear, and then like another card comes in, like Skydiver, for example. You can just swing one time with Skydiver, put it with Soul, and then boom, there's another Interceptor or something like that in order to just go hit through. So I kind of do like that. I love staying ahead. and I do love the attack extending. Those are
Alright.
my two big traits
Okay.
when it comes to
I
Vanguard.
will say you might actually like Gold Paladin in standard. They definitely get you go relatively ahead with a lot of cards now, like Platinum Ezo in standard. It's a much different design than what you saw in Zero. Shadow Paladin actually might also be up your alley because, as Darkness was mentioning earlier in the video, it has the ability to
It can
attack.
multi-attack.
It can actually attack 5 times
with
specifically Blaster Dark and Mordred.
Yeah, Cleric is still technically 4 times. It just gets a restand, so it's more of a depends on you if you want to pressure with your vanguards or hit multiple times with your rear guards.
Cleric is more like playing like Note, but a little
pretty
easier
much.
to pull off.
But it's Shadow Paladin,
Yeah.
so they have their gimmick.
Debatably, you might also like Narukami. It gets to really play a tempo game very well, but it's also on Excel, so it gets to have extra rearguard circles and attack multiple times that way. I think I'll also recommend going with something like
Aquaforce?
Aquaforce, actually.
Aquaforce, even though you hate dealing with that in JP Zero.
I don't. I can't. I'm not looking forward to September and Global. I mean, I really am not. Hey, October's gonna be better, low key. Platina come.
Platinum Ezo Escape.
Yeah, he's really good.
But yeah, Darkness, anything that I didn't say that you might recommend to the guy?
I'm not sure right now. I feel like maybe we're missing some stuff, but I'm not sure we have enough time to explain about it, or we can explain another time. Like, what do you mean?
Like, Nova Grappler could be a climb for him?
I mean, you like multi-attacking, you Grover Grappler is another one. Oh wait, there is a new gimmick with Nova Grappler.
Too. Even though, to be fair, I also like cheesy with Devil Summoner, but again, that's besides the point. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what there is. I mean, some clans that I might actually not, that I don't like in Zero, maybe I might have a different feeling.
Yeah, for sure.
About it in area, so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'm optimistic. I want to try out every clan, including special ones, and we'll see how it goes
we can
overall.
go over how deck building goes on another time.
Wait, so, I was gonna say, do you know about Front Trigger? Because Nova Grappler
yes, I do
has
know about Front Trigger because they replaced it with they replaced for stands. Instead, they just give you boosts for the entire front row, I think.
Yeah, front row, pretty much. So it can be either offensively or defensively, like when you're being attacked, because at least your rear guards and your vanguard will be hard to hit. Well, do you want to explain God Hand? Because that's a very interesting one that you utilize front rows only.
Right. So God Hand, the God Hand deck profits. It basically cuts a high roll getting front triggers to high roll into like getting stupidly massive amounts of power and attacking multiple times that way. Like God Hand gets you like triple drive or some shit.
Alright, so I think that's a pretty good place to stop at. We had a pretty good understanding. Unfortunately, we did not play some games too, but again, it's also about the learning process in the series. I'm excited to learn more about this, and then hopefully I can also stream it on my own end as well.
Sure.
I kind of want to do a little bit of some Let's Try Out Every Clan series on the channel as well, but I'm optimistic of it. So next time we'll have trial deck test outs, and then we'll start going more of what kind of variants would I like in certain clans.
And yep, for sure. So with that, we're gonna end the video here. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, ring the notification bell, and continue to embrace the inner darkness inside you. Bye bye.